All right, how you doing, folks? This is the Doug Rice Show. Thank you for showing up, tuning in. I want you to like, subscribe, and share again and again what I am about to share with you. Now, Zionism is a subject that is long on the folks' minds of those who find themselves attacked by Zionists, as a matter of fact. Now, we're going to get into a lawmaker, a U.S. lawmaker that has conveyed a tale that requires lawmakers to avail themselves and pledge allegiance to Israel. And I got to tell you, it's a really hard sell. But let's take a look, because this should be in a book. Good Lord. All right, here we go.
Well, let's talk about, Cynthia, there are many reports that talks about the influence of the Israeli lobby, AIPAC, on United States politics in general. Did you experience anything in that realm as far as what one would call the interference in American policy by AIPAC?
Well, it's interesting because when I first went to Congress, I did not go to Congress to pay particular attention to any area outside of the Black community that I represented that was in need, and of course, U.S. Africa policy, which was abhorrent and unfortunately still is. But what I bumped into at almost every turn were these special interests. And there's no more special interest that has any more influence than the pro-Israel lobby,
Whoa! So what's being said here? The pro-Israel lobby is a very dynamic special interest group within Congress, working within Congress to lobby on behalf of Israel. But let's continue.
And there's no more special interest that has any more influence than the pro-Israel lobby.
So we have Cynthia McKinney, former U.S. Congresswoman, who is relaying this information. Please continue.
And so then when I did outreach, for example, to the Muslim community in the United States, I bumped into the pro-Israel lobby, which of course does not want to have to contend with a politicized Muslim community, which is as large as and is as wealthy as the pro-Israel lobby is in the United States.
Well, that begs the question, sister, if I might ask, why would you find it necessary? Why would you find it necessary to lobby on behalf of Arabs or Jews or anyone else you might choose that really only wants us Negroes to lose? I'm pretty sure that was something they confronted you with. And I'm certain when that happened, your neck sure did get stiff. Let's continue.
So yes, I first-handedly and also frontally was assaulted by the presence of the pro-Israel lobby to such an extent.
Physically assaulted?
Well, politically assaulted,
okay,
to such an extent that my father had to ask the question publicly, what does Stone Mountain, Georgia have to do with Israel?
I gotta ask that question, folks. I did ask that question, in fact, and I came up with an answer, and I want to give you the answer because I think it's important that you understand. So I looked up Stone Mountain. What do you want me to do, right? I looked up Stone Mountain, and I want to share with you a few things. All right. So let me show you what my research brings. Now, Stone Mountain, right here, it says it. Let it get clear. So who funded Stone Mountain? Okay, and it looks like it says the Venerable Brothers of Atlanta, who quarried the mountain for 24 years, and descendants of the Venable family would retain ownership of the mountain until it was purchased. So that had something to do with my research. So then I learned through this document that the ancestors of the Venables, all of them through this 215-page document, they are a family of long-term, long-held Jewish people. They're of the Jewish persuasion. And then, you know, as time would have it, and I kept investigating, I came across this tidbit. And if I focus in just so, you'll see that Stone Mountain is owned by the Venable family, which has a nice little depiction of General Lee. And so I looked upon that, and, you know, that's what I see. So on with the show, because she did mention that she had a little apprehension about dealing with those folks. But let's move on. Set aside all jokes. Here we go.
I was doing was servicing the needs of my constituents. And I was not allowed to do that because I did not toe the line on U.S. policy for Israel.
What line is that they wanted? Were you told directly that you had to toe a line, or explain that to me?
Well, every candidate for Congress at that time had a pledge. They were given a pledge to sign.
Whoa. They were given a pledge to sign. Pay attention.
A pledge to sign. They were given a pledge to sign.
I have said to people when they ask me, if this Capitol crumbles to the ground, the one thing that would remain is our commitment to our aid. I don't even call it aid, our cooperation with Israel.
She didn't want to call it aid. She should have called it aid, because it's billions and billions and billions of dollars in aid to the state of Israel.
That's fundamental. Cooperation with Israel. That's fundamental. Our cooperation with Israel. That's fundamental.
Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist.
Were I a Jew, spoken by now President Biden, were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. Now we're going to get into what Zionism represents in a later show, but I thought I'd let you hear that just so you know.
My father pointed out to me I didn't need to be a Jew to be a Zionist, for I am. Israel is essential to the security of Jews worldwide.
Whoa.
I say again, you need not be a Jew to be a Zionist. The fact is that since then, I've known every single prime minister, and it's been an honor. Formed strong working relations with each of them. And now, this is my 10th visit. Every chance to return to this great country where the ancient roots of the Jewish people date back to biblical times.
See, the ancient roots of the Jewish people do not date back to ancient biblical times. And we're going to say that again, just ignore the rhymes. The ancient descendants of Jewish people descend from Canaanites. The ancient descendants of Jewish people have nothing to do with Hebrews. And yet he sits and stands on a tarmac and just recites the drivel. And I don't understand it. It's beyond any kind of comprehension. But I thought I'd pause because I thought I'd mention. Think of what he's saying, that the Jews who are doing all this slaying right now, that they are somehow associated with the ancient biblical times, and they are not. They are in no way associated with the ancient biblical times. But well, let's just continue. I'm so sorry, folks. Here we go.
Is a blessing, because the connection between the Israeli people and the American people is bone deep.
Right. He wants to connect the blessing between supposed Israel and the United States being bone deep, but the true Israel he holds as hostages still. Negroes, those, yeah, we are the blessing that they have imposed upon themselves. Let's go.
We invest in each other. We dream together.
You make a commitment that you will vote to support the military superiority of Israel, that the economic assistance that Israel wants, that you would vote to provide that.
This isn't a question for the Congress people serving, that they are representing, or they're supposed to be representing, the people of the United States, not a foreign country, and yet they have to pledge allegiance to a foreign state.
That's what
No one questions this.
That's what I was asked to do. And I made it public. This is probably nobody had said anything about it, but I made it public. And then, the excuse was, well, those were just overzealous advocates for Israel. So then the tactic changed. And but this is what is done for 535 members of the United States Congress.
535 members of the United States Congress do this. They are pressured by folks that are Jewish in interests alone. That's it. I mean, they better pick up the phone. I find this a fascinating expose on all that this woman has to say.
100 senators, 435 members of the House of Representatives have to now write a paragraph, which basically says the same thing.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Yes, do subscribe to this channel because we woke now. Yes, subscribe to the channel. Folks, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think? What is the deal? Does it make a stink? I gotta say, folks, before I go away, it's a hell of a pill to swallow today. Right in your face, they tell the lie, and they want it to just slide on by. But let them keep talking, let them keep yawking, let them keep joking, let them keep smoking. We're here off the Doug Rice Show, brought to you by Twitter, so you know. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. I am out of here. You have a wonderful day. That's all I got.